Hey, g'day, and welcome to Drive Time. Today, we're going to talk about living your life on purpose. What does it mean to live a life on purpose, and how do you do it? You know, you get one shot at this thing called life. It's about 4,000 weeks. That's it. That's an entire lifetime. If you live to be approximately 80, and you 50 times 80 is approximately 4,000 weeks of a lifetime. And when you want to do that right, then you got to do it right. You got to plan for it. You got to learn about it. You got to understand it. So how do we work through the 5 phases of living a life on purpose? And for me, a lot of the times when I meet with people about their business or about their wealth, they seem to have so focused on their business and so focused on their wealth that they actually forget about bringing this whole thing called life together and having a purpose for your life. Hey, Graham. Hey, Jamie. Type in where you're at, gang, so that we know where we're going on the drive time. If you're new to drive time, we always type in where we're at. All right, so phase 1 of living a life on purpose, right, is actually the decision-making part to say, I decide to live on purpose. And, you know, it's very easy for people to just go through life living what I call a photocopied life. You know, they do the same year after year after year. It's like they never graduate from school or whatever it is. And it's just basically they work and holiday, work and holiday, work and holiday, or work and eat at the same place every week. And, you know, it's that whole process of doing that. So the decision to live a life on purpose, and that's one of the reasons I run my purpose training, which is a 2-day training. If you haven't got information on that, I'll make sure the team puts a login or a link for that on here. But one of the things that I notice about living life on purpose is that when people actually do that, they either start buying books on it or they start doing something that helps them study the subject of life. You want a successful life, you have to study it. You can't have a successful life without studying success. You can't have a great set of relationships without studying relationships. You know, you want to be happy, then study happiness. It's not that complex, but you've got to make that decision first to live a life on purpose rather than just to go through life doing the same thing that everybody else seems to. You want to have an extraordinary life, you got to make a decision to do that. Keep typing in where you're at. Hey, Sam, Samantha, hey, Luke, good to see you here. David, good to see you here. Cheryl, how you doing? Gary, good to have you all on board. Now, phase 2 of building a life on purpose is to actually look at what is the purpose of your life, to actually make that life decision around your purpose. And how you do that takes a bit of time, energy, and effort. I teach that through my purpose training, but essentially, it boils down to looking at where there is meaning and enjoyment in your life and skill. So you got to combine meaning, enjoyment, and skill to find where a purpose lays. And that's why, you know, in a workshop format like my purpose workshop, we actually help people establish those things by going through a list of questions and a list of ways of thinking about each area of life. If you know where you have meaning and where you have skill and where you have enjoyment, then you start to find a place of where your purpose is at and what you put on this planet to do, where you have that your meaningful life. I go back to when Einstein said, you know, everyone's a genius, but as long as you measure them at something that is purposeful to them. You know, you can't, you know, a cat will always fail in swimming in the ocean, whereas a fish will fail at climbing a tree. I think that philosophy is important. Phase 3 of building a purposeful life. Hey, thanks for typing in where you're at, Lee. Good to have you on board. Phase 3 of building a purposeful life is to determine that level of what it is you want to have in life. So what do you want to have? What's the experiences you want to have? What are the places you want to visit? What are the things you want to own? But building up and deciding what are your dreams and goals, knowing where you want to go with life, knowing your dreams, knowing your goals. All of that stuff is very powerful part of building a purposeful life. And when people don't do that, when they don't know what it is that they want for their life, when they don't know what it is that they want, it's very hard to live on purpose. So make the decision to be on purpose, work out what your purpose is, work out your dreams and goals. And then what you got to work out is phase 4 is who do I need to become to do that? Who do I need to be in order to do that sort of thing? And so living your life on purpose is really about designing the person that does that. And again, that's why the workshop takes 2 days, because all of these things have to be thought through and documented for yourself, because as you get clear on who it is you want to become and what it is you want to do, the world gets simpler from that perspective. Hey, Cheryl, good to have you here. Stephen, good to have you here. Mark, how you doing? How's Colorado this fine day? Well, it's not that fine. It's raining here in Vegas. So phase 5 of living a life on purpose is then to surround yourself with the right people to do that. Be they friends, family, mentors, coaches, educators, whatever it is. You've got to have the right people around you if you want to live your life on purpose. So if you look at those 5 phases of building a purposeful life for yourself, and by the way, if there's anyone you know should be watching this, Owen or Pauline, if you know someone that should be wanting to watch this, tag them below to make sure that they do get it. So go for it and take a look at that. Now, the 5 phases of building a purposeful life really stay strong if you do number 5, if you surround yourself with the right people. And if you want me as your mentor to be a purposeful life, don't just come here on drive time. Actually go and do the other programs. Do 30X Life, do Purpose, the workshop. Come and hang out. If you want a great life, you got to invest the time, energy, and effort to study it. There's no other ways to put it than that. People that don't spend the time and energy studying a great life, it's like, you want to have a great business, then study business. You want to build serious wealth, study wealth. You want to have a great life, study great lives. Learn from that. I know the number of books and things I've had to read over my lifetime and the number of courses I've had to attend just to build that. Not to mention the coaching that I get on a weekly and bi-weekly basis to keep my life on track, to keep me on track. Listen. Ultimately, building a life on purpose takes work. It takes energy. It takes thinking, and it takes learning. If you're committed to it, then great. Come join us on the Purpose Workshop, or come do 30X Life, or read any of my books and get started on it. But the goal for me is to help you build a great life. Some of that's about money, some of that's about business, but a lot of that is about the success principles of life. Take the time and energy to learn it. Learn it with me, learn it with other people. But go through the 5 phases, and you and me together will be building that great life. Take care. Thanks for joining Drive Time. Talk to you again soon.